Hello everyone, today's book is called Caged. It's by Kao Kalia Yang and illustrated by Kua Vu. And this book is about the story of a Hmong family living in a refugee camp. A refugee camp is something when someone's home country becomes unsafe, usually by war. Other countries will help and set up refugee camps where people can go, that they can be taken out of the unsafe areas and in an environment where they're safe from the war. But at the same time, refugee camps are not easy to live in either, and they have a lot of challenges as well. So this book is going to explore life in a refugee camp for a Hmong family. Here we have some pictures. I live in a cage, but I don't know it. You can see these are barbed wire fence, and those are intended to keep people or animals from encountering it because it would very much hurt to touch that. We have some actual sticky pages here. My cage is bald hills and dry fields of flying dirt made smooth by thousands of bare feet. I share my cage with more people than I can count. Grandmothers with no teeth, grandfathers whose backs are bent forward, so far they face the ground, mothers with babies on their backs, fathers holding hands with dirt-stained, bare-bottomed toddlers, and children like me, big enough to walk on our own, but small enough that we can only play where the adults who love us can watch over us. So she's saying in this camp that she lives in, there are a lot of people of all ages. My cage is guarded by men with guns. In the daytime, they walk around the edge of the camp with their machine, green shirts and green pants, each with a thick belt around their waist and a gun at their side. So because these refugee camps are usually set up in places with turmoil, they need military people to keep them safe. At night, beneath the blanket of stars and clouds, their guns disappear and their clothing merges with the shadows. They become nothing more than the red lights of their cigarette butts moving like fireflies around the edges of our world. What an interesting imagery, right? In my cage, we play a special game, my cousins and me. The twins, a boy and a girl, are called Wind and Cloud. Where she goes, he follows. My favorite playmate, an older cousin, is named Golden Flower. Golden Flower tells us that we are people from the sky who have lost our wings. She says one day the great heavens will bring us new ones. So I'm guessing that the older cousin is old enough to remember life before this refugee camp and what their home country was like. We hold our big t-shirt away from our thin bodies like wings. We use our feet to draw cloud patterns on bare earth. We fly over the clouds, making an orange dirt dance around us, jumping high and low, our arms open wide as the fabric of our shirts will allow. The sound of our laughter ripples through the camp, and all the people gather outside to watch us fly and float. So she's kind of imagining, what would it be like to have wings to fly around out of here? Where are you going? An old woman shouts. To a place far from here. Wind yells. What does it look like? A young man asks. Like a movie, Cloud responds. What kind of movie? A young woman wants to know. The kind where we drink from waterfalls, carry dolls in our arms, and ride around in bicycles fast as cars. Golden Flower answers. That doesn't sound very realistic, an old man says. What do you know about what's real and what isn't in the heart of a child? Let the children leave here, go where they want, another old woman responds. So they're saying, imagine this wonderful place where we are free. We can ride our bicycles, drink from the fountains. We have toys and all sorts of things. Here is where those who remain wait for their turn to get on the buses that will take them away from the guards and the guns. Here is where people fleeing a war wait. So the people who are at a refugee camp, they don't want to stay there. That's not an easy life, and they would like to live somewhere else, but they have to wait until they have a place to go. So that's what they say. Here is where people fleeing a war wait. So they had to leave their homes because of war. Here is where we eat from the same chipped plates with thin metal spoons that can cut through the lips if we're not careful. Here's where we eat the same things over and over again. Rice with dried fish, rice with dried fish, rice with dried fish. So these camps are not luxurious. They are not comfortable. They are hard as well, but they are safer than war. But make no mistake, they are not easy to live in. Here is where our friends leave in their family groups, and we don't know if we will ever see them again. Here's where they leave their pets behind, the dogs running after big buses until the gates close on them. So when it's time for certain people to leave, they have to leave everyone and everything behind as well. Here's where everyone is waiting for the buses to return to take them away from the guards and the guns. Here's where everyone is talking about the other countries where we might one day live, far beyond the cage. So people in refugee camps are moving to different countries. They can't go back to their home country, so they have to live in new countries where they have to start a whole new life. Thankfully, they have that opportunity when other countries help take care of people who are in war-torn countries. Mother and father say, we have been waiting a long time. What is a long time, I ask? 8 years. Longer than you've been alive, they tell me. I've only been alive for 6 years. 8 years is a long time to be somewhere that's not very comfortable, right? On the favorite branch of our favorite tree, I ask Golden Flower, how long is 8 years? She tells me, enough for a person to grow up and grow old. I marvel at how much my best cousin knows. So when you're only 6 years old, you don't really even have a concept of 8 years because you haven't even lived 8 years. That's how long it can be. The elders sit at the base of our favorite tree and talk about the past. They remember the war and the leaving. They weep and wipe their tears with hands like tree bark. I try to imagine war. When I see the hungry dogs fight over a fallen fishbone, I think I know what war feels like. So she never lived in the country when it was in war. She was born at the refugee camp. But she's hearing stories and other people are sharing how awful it was. My mother wants to know what I'm thinking about when I sit in the dirt and draw connected circles with the sticks. I tell her, war. She shakes her head. She says, it's time for your bath. On the broken concrete pad around the well, my mother washes me with sweet-smelling soap and pours a bucket of cold water over my head. No nice, warm, hot showers here, or baths. After I am clean, before the sun descends over the faraway hills around the camp, my beautiful aunt takes me on our nightly walk. My small hand in her bigger one. In the cool evening wind, we walk beneath the last rays of sunshine. The sun filters through the leaves the leaves of trees overhead and shines on the dirt around us. So I like that even though there are hardships here, she can find some beauty and some connection as well, right? That's the power of the human spirit. My aunt tells me, you are not a child of poverty, war, or despair. She says, you are hope being born. She says, you are the captain of a more beautiful future. As the night creatures begin to sing their song, my aunt hums a tune from long ago, raises a hand high above her head, and starts to wave at the descending sun. We dance our way toward the dark evening. I love that idea that you are hope being born. So even though things are really hard right now, there is hope. And there is hope especially in the next generation, that they, once they get out of the refugee camp, can live a full and beautiful life away from the war and the poverty. The next day, my mother and father ask me if I am ready to leave this place behind. I think about wind and cloud, golden flower, and my most beautiful aunt. I think about a place like a movie, waterfalls and baby dolls and bicycles as fast as car. I tell them, I think so. She's thinking, oh, these are the people here that I love so much, but here's this potential new life of wonderful things. They say our papers have been approved. We are leaving soon. On the day we leave, I stand before my beautiful aunt in my best outfit. Golden pants with a crease down the front, a white shirt that balloons around me with a single plastic rose pinned above my heart. Tears fall from her eyes, but she wipes them away and holds my chin in her hands. She says, remember me when you are gone. So even though there's so much love here, these people have to part, and it's very hard and sad. But they're doing it in the hopes of a better future. On the steps of the bus, Golden Flower pulls me close. Her arms wrap around me and she whispers in my ear, your wings have arrived. In her hold, I listen to the beat of her heart. Your wings are here, she says. I thought that was a really beautiful book about a really difficult thing of when people are going through whole communities and countries are going through hardships. And I also thought it was a great book to show us how important it is that we take care of one another, that we as a community, as a country, as human beings, as people, we make sure that we take care of those around us. And people who are in a situation that's really difficult like war, they need our help, right? They need us to lend helping hands. And so it's really important that we do that and we look out for our fellow human beings, because everyone, everywhere around the world deserves love and safety and joy and to feel like they have their wings. Thanks for reading and learning with me. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you soon.